राय बच्चन ने लिखा था, वृक्ष हो भले खड़े, हो घने हो बड़े, एक पत्र छांव भी मांग मत मांग मत मांग मत, अग्निपथ अग्निपथ अग्निपथ। स्टार्टअप्स या फाउंडर्स या उनकी जर्नी, व्हेन वी एसेंशियली ट्राई टू मैप ऑल ऑफ दिस पुट टुगेदर, शायद वो सब कुल मिलाकर के कहीं ना कहीं अग्निपथ से जुड़ते हैं। इंडिया और भारत, as we know it, has thousands and thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs across the length and breadth of our country. You will find them in a small town, Pondicherry, you will find them in Sikkim, you will find them in Delhi, and you will find them across the length and breadth of this country. Entrepreneurs on their own undergo a huge change in their journey as they undertake it, from the point of starting it with the small money they get from friends and family, to the time they go out in market to raise capital from angels, from there to when they go to venture investors and raise money. But all of these journeys have different outcomes. We at the Fintech Yatra annually undertake this ode. हम कोशिश ये करते हैं कि जैसे शंकराचार्य ने आज से हजारों साल पहले उत्तर से दक्षिण को जोड़ा था, उसी तरीके से वी ट्राई दैट बाय अंडरटेकिंग दिस एनुअल रोड जर्नी ऑफ 11,000 किलोमीटर्स, wherein we cover 19 cities, go to 27 odd states, meet up with 400 plus fintech entrepreneurs every single year. We essentially try to understand what is the journey they undergo. This small piece from our side is an ode to that journey, which starts with an idea but can have 5 different outcomes. The outcomes are, you start with an idea and then you get acquired. You start with an idea and for reasons unknown, despite of all the pain, pressure, effort, whatever you put, you still don't make it. An outcome wherein you go for an IPO, you get listed, there is a bazooka, everyone in the newspaper is talking about you. There is an outcome of becoming a unicorn, and then there is an outcome of remaining bootstrapped for decades and decades and decades. One of the outcomes that we are talking about at this point of time is bootstrapping. अब साहब बूटस्ट्रैपिंग जो है, जब अगर आप गूगल करने जाएं तो आपको दिखेगा कि बूटस्ट्रैपिंग की हजारों परिभाषाएं हैं और हजारों किस्म की स्टार्टअप्स हैं जो बूटस्ट्रैपिंग करती हैं। बट यदि आप अपने गली में, नुक्कड़ में, मोहल्ले में देखें तो हमारे गली का पनवाड़ी, उसके बगल का किराने वाला, उसके बगल का नाई, उसके बगल का दुकानदार, ये सारे के सारे सदियों से बूटस्ट्रैप ही है। तो जिसको आज व्हाट वी डिफाइन एज बूटस्ट्रैप इज समथिंग व्हिच इज इनग्रेन्ड इन दिस वेन, इट इज आउट देयर, इट इज आउट हियर, ये यहां पर है हमारे साथ में। बात कर रहे हैं कहानी की ललित, मानव और अरविंद की। ललित, मानव और अरविंद ने 2009 में शुरू करी एक कंपनी जिसका नाम है डेसिमल टेक्नोलॉजीज। Decimal Technologies was started in 2009 from a small apartment in Chandigarh, has grown since then to be an 800 people organization. They have many feathers in their cap. We'll let them speak about what they have done, what they have achieved.
So 2009 is when we started Decimal, and the reason to start was, it was always kind of, before I came back to India, and the reason to come back to India was that I want to be on my own. I don't think I'm fit for corporate job, as simple as that. I was not good enough for a corporate job. And I had come from US and went for MBA. So जो savings थी वो तो खत्म हो गई थी. There was वो MBA की फीस देने में खत्म हो गई थी. MBA बहुत महंगा हो गया था तब तक. So and my wife comes from a background of, her father was a deputy collector, enforcement officer, and all government officers. For her, doing a business was like, उसको तो समझ ही नहीं आता था कि क्यों कोई पागलपन करेगा, business करेगा. So I think it took me, and I did not really try to convince her a lot, because it wasn't easy to convince her. She wouldn't have got convinced at all. One fine day I just told her कि मैं कर रहा हूँ अभी, but I'll make sure that your living standard is taken care of. It took us about 6 months to kind of, for her to accept it. It was very difficult. I think that was the most difficult part. But once family comes along, then only it kind of starts to make sense. Then only things start working out. So it took us about 3 to 6 months for her to accept it. But once that happened, then then she's been a great support all along. This FOMO was not there. It- I think it was never there. I'll tell you the reason. I was on the other side, which was private equity fund, and I had seen many startups. I was on the board of a few startups to help them kind of build their portfolio and all. And I also saw how funding can screw up startups. I had seen, how the entire conflict between the entrepreneur and the investors did not really do service to the business. We saw how the founders would just not want to face the investors and say कि बस आप check लिखो और जाओ, don't give us any ज्ञान and all. So I've been on that side. So I think since I had seen that area so closely, I was quite clear for first couple of years that we will not take any investment until we become significant. So because the moment till the time you are significant enough in terms of size and all, your own conviction and size both, the possibility of investors pretty much driving the agenda is far higher. And when you are significant enough, when you have found your space, when you have found your path, then I think going out and getting funding is much more sane for me, I would say. And I think we don't regret that, honestly speaking. We see a lot of unicorns coming up. I know quite a few friends, who started with me or who started after us, but at least two of them I know those were unicorns now. So it's kind of course, you feel that, it's a little, but I don't think we regret the decision that we took. I think the whole idea that at least I believe in is that, the foundation that you are kind of building the whole empire building on needs to be very strong, I'm more comfortable doing that, and that's what we are doing.
मेरा जो point of वो आया कि कब मैंने ये decide कर लिया कि छोड़ देना है, that I think is a little interesting to me because I was visiting my mother and my parents live in a small village in the outskirts of Maharashtra, in a place called उमरगांव के आसपास में गुजरात में. तो वहाँ पे एक छोटी सी दुकान चला. So I was sitting in that shop because a friend had come from US और वो बोला कि वहाँ पे मिलते. And fortunately my parents were not there. तो coincidentally they were not there. तो मैं वहाँ उस दुकान में बैठा हुआ था. And I realized कि यार ये दुकान अच्छा कर रही है. उस टाइम पे it was making of 50,000 rupees a month. नेट टाइम तो वहाँ बैठे बैठे क्योंकि वो दोस्त लेट आया तो मेरे को आधा दिन मिला सोचने का कि चल क्या रहा है. तो यार 50,000 रुपये महीना तो बिना कुछ किए दुकान कमा रही है. माय मदर फादर वर मैनेजिंग इट. कुछ नहीं हुआ कि मैं आके यहाँ बैठ जाता हूँ तो इसको 1-1.5 लाख रुपया तो कर सकते हैं. एंड द अदर मैथ आई डिड वाज कि आई डिड अ कैलकुलेशन ऑफ व्हाट इज माय एक्सपेंस, मेरे खर्चे कितने, और वो करीब 1 लाख रुपया है. बिकॉज आई वाज इन अ रेंटेड अपार्टमेंट, ये पूरा था. सो व्हाट आई डिड इज यार लाख रुपया महीना मुझे खर्चा करने को चाहिए और लाख रुपये महीना कमाना कोई मुश्किल काम नहीं. बिकॉज अब तो एक्सपीरियंस भी है, नेटवर्क भी इतना बड़ा है कि किसी भी दोस्त को बोलेंगे कि भाई कंसल्टिंग का एक प्रोजेक्ट दे दो, तो देयर विल बी पीपल हु विल बी विलिंग टू गिव दैट प्रोजेक्ट. सो एंड ऑन द अदर हैंड आई वाज रियली वर्किंग वेरी वेरी हार्ड. तो जहाँ भी मैं काम कर रहा था, our start time was 8:30 in the morning और end time कुछ होता नहीं. So really working very hard, creating value for somebody else. So उसमें मेरी जो सोच इस तरह से गई थी कि नौकरी कर रहा हूँ, सैलरी बहुत अच्छी आ रही है. It was good hefty salary which I was earning. तो वो सैलरी जाके बैठ रही थी ICICI बैंक. So thought that struck me at that point in time कि यार मेहनत मैं कर रहा हूँ, 2 लोग जो मजे कर रहे हैं. एक है अजीम प्रेम जी साहब, बिकॉज मैं उनके लिए मेहनत कर रहा हूँ एंड ही इज मेकिंग द वैल्यू आउट ऑफ इट व्हाइल आई एम गेटिंग माय रेम्यूनरेशन फॉर इट. अनदर उस टाइम पे ICICI बैंक के भी काम साहब संभालते हैं. मतलब दूसरा मेरा पैसा वहाँ आइडल पड़ा हुआ है तो वो मजे कर रहा है, घिसवा मैं रहा. दिस वॉज द थॉट विच केम टू माई माइंड. तो बस ये तो नहीं चलेगा और इतने पैसे का करूँगा क्या, बिकॉज आई एम नॉट एज अ लाइफ स्टाइल, आई एम नॉट अ वेरी बिग मटीरियल गाय ऑल्सो. तो ये जो पैसे आ भी रहे हैं वो फालतू ही बैंक में पड़े हुए. तो So with that thought कि चाहिए लास्ट में सवा बहुत रहा हूँ, so that let's create something which I enjoyed. While what I was doing I really enjoyed. It's not कि मैं वो enjoy नहीं कर रहा था, but the effort was much more and the value driven was much lesser. Now the reason for remaining bootstrapped, I would say one, as I mentioned in the past, is taking money from someone, whether debt or equity, is a huge responsibility. Which I mean, I don't know how many founders take it that way, but we do very seriously. कि अगर मैंने आपसे ₹1 लिया है, तो आपका वो सवा करके समय पे आपको वापस देना मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। तो वो हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा बोझ है। सो अंटिल आई एम कन्विंस्ड कि मैं वो कर पाऊंगा, मैं वहाँ पे नहीं जाऊँगा। एंड सेकेंड वॉज, आई वुड से कि वी जस्ट एंजॉयड आवर फ्रीडम। कि हमने बहुत समय तक लोगों के नीचे काम किया, जहाँ पे nothing, they were great people, it shaped us, पर we were kind of siloed down, saying ये तुम्हारा दायरा, इतना सोचो, बाकी तुम सोचो, या हम बता रहे हैं वैसे करो। This was our opportunity, जहाँ पे अच्छा हो रहा था तो हमारा हो रहा था, बुरा हो रहा था तो बिल्कुल हमारा ही हो रहा था। So we were loving that bit कि freedom है, हम डिसाइड कर पा रहे हैं, हम पिवट कर पा रहे हैं। We pivoted a lot, मतलब हमने कहाँ से शुरू किया था और आज कहाँ है, वो आप अगर ग्राफ ड्रॉ करोगे तो बहुत ही अलग है। But we were enjoying that journey.